Hello and welcome to the Don't At Me Food Reviews podcast, where our ratings and hot takes are 100% accurate, and if you disagree, you are wrong. I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. My name is Mitch, and joined with me today is a man more round than a Freddo ice cream cake. Mark, what's good?
Not a whole lot this week, Mitch. What about yourself?
Oh, mate, just chugging along. Also joined with me this week is a man more disappointing than dropping your ice cream out of an ice cream cone. It's Wilson. What's up?
Oh man, that's pretty disappointing.
It's
Nothing much is up, I guess.
Alright, the way this podcast works is we've come up with our own score out of 10 and combined these scores come up with a consensus ranking that will place each ice cream into a tier. Mark, before we get started, why don't you hit us with some trivia?
All right, boys. Pretty easy week this week. When was the first known ice cream recipe written down? Take a guess. I'm going to go with Wilson first.
Ooh, I'm gonna guess hella old. Geez, how old would ice cream be? I'm gonna guess like the year 600.
Wait,
Oh,
that's very early. Mitch?
okay. Now I'm going to say like 1850.
Well, you're both wrong. And by Price is Right rules, Wilson takes the point on this one. It was 1665. It was flavoured with orange flower water, mace, and ambergris, which is an intestinal slurry puked up by sperm whales.
Yum. Sounds good.
Yum. Mm.
Get
Get
that?
good.
All right. Second question for you boys. In which US state was the Buffalo Bill created? Mitch, I'll start with you this time.
Cowboys. I'm going to say... No, Buffalo's not a state, is it? Oh, boy.
No.
I'm going through my NFL teams here now. Texas.
All right, Wilson.
I was going to say Texas, so instead I'll pick with the one Mitch pivoted from. I'm gonna say Buffalo.
Which isn't a state, but it's closer than
New
where
York.
Mitch
New
said,
York.
which is also closer. It was invented in New Jersey by a company called Good Humor, but it achieved particular success in Australia, where it's the only country to continue to be available.
There you go. So, we were both
Wilson's
wrong.
The world.
Mm. So Wilson takes the points this week, boys.
Oh, all right.
Do we want a third question?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
I'll
righto.
from 3.
What flavor? What is the official flavor of a rainbow paddle pop?
Caramel. I'm in.
Caramel.
Yeah, you're both right on that one.
No, I was right. I came first.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to Mitch. So 2-1.
Damn it.
Mitch gets some garbage time points on this week's episode.
I'll take it.
As long as I win.
Yeah, you take the W this week, Wilson.
All right, Wilson. Why don't you explain to us why we're doing the ice cream podcast, please?
Well, this week we are doing ice creams because through the week we saw a particularly wrong ratings list. I think Sunrise shared on their Facebook page.
It was today. The Today Show.
Today Show.
Sure.
Same shit, different show.
They wonder why their rankings are tanking.
Yeah, I mean their rankings were just completely wrong. Like they had a couple of the best that we'll discuss later on at the top where they belonged, but then they had some of the best ice creams in the what they called the would rather eat a bucket of vomit tier, which is just I'm just looking at it now and I'm disgusted. Like they had great chocolates in the pleb tier, like, not chocolates, ice creams. Anyway, their rankings are completely wrong, so we have gone through and created the 100% correct ones instead.
I don't mind their rankings. You know, God tier, royalty tier, Adam Sandler tier. I like that. That's quite funny. However, their rankings are very wrong.
Wrong.
Some of them you could just completely flip it around and it would almost make more sense. But
All right, let's
I digress.
get started. Mark, let's start us off with
Let's start with Chalky Paddle Pop.
chocolate paddle
All right.
pop.
This week, Wilson's given it a 6, Mitch has given it a 5, and I've also given it a 6 for a total of 17 out of 30.
For me, I gave it a 5 just because it's the middle of the road. It's very basic. It's your standard chocolate ice cream, and that's why I've given it a 5.
Yeah, I've gone same sort of reasoning. I think it's I thought it was slightly better than deserving a pass mark, but same sort of logic. It is your middle of the road chocolate. There's nothing really wrong with it. It's just hasn't got anything crazy going on. It's just just your run of your mill chocolate ice cream. It's fine.
I totally agree with that. It's the very, very basic.
Fair enough. Wilson, what do we got next?
So next we have the rainbow paddle pop.
Right.
Same sort of reasoning, I think. Mark's gone 6, I've gone 5, and Mitch has gone a 6. So me and Mitch have just swapped scores over. What do we think on this one, boys?
For me, it's just slightly a little bit more interesting than the chocolate, which is why I've gone a 6 over a 5.
You're a bit more of a caramel man, Mitch.
Look, if there was the option between rainbow and caramel, despite them tasting the exact same, I'd take the rainbow.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I feel like if there was a caramel paddle pop on this list, I'd probably give it a 5, despite being the exact same thing, just less colourful.
I feel like they existed once upon a time, caramel.
Probably.
Anyway.
They probably just fused them together to save money. I've gone slightly lower on this one than the chocolate, just because I'm personally not a fan of caramel flavored things, really. And I mean, you look at it; it's rainbow flavored. It by all logic should not taste like caramel. It should taste like whatever a rainbow tastes like.
And
maybe a rainbow
imagine
tastes like caramel.
Yeah, maybe. I guess so. It must. It doesn't make any other sense. So
a score.
I don't know, maybe we'll get to taste a rainbow one day.
That's a Skittle thing, isn't it?
Yes.
Feel the rainbow. Taste the rainbow.
All right, moving on to our next ice cream, being the Weiss bar. Consensus ranking here of 4, 4, and 4, giving it a score of 12 out of 30. Lads, give me your reasoning.
I'm not a fan of this. If I wanted to eat mango flavored things, I would eat a mango. I don't want a mango flavored ice cream. I think that's just my opinion, but we've all scored it similarly, so I guess we all think the same. I think lots of people out there rate this really, really highly. This might be one of those controversial ones, but I'm not a fan.
Mango ice cream is just a lot better as like a scooped flavored ice cream, not as a bar, in my opinion. And that's just,
I get that.
I don't like the texture of it. I don't like, the taste is alright. It tastes like a mango, but it's one of the last ones I would grab at a servo at Woolies.
If it's got,
can you even get it at a servo?
You can.
Yeah. You can.
Gross.
Yeah, I'm not touching one of these. I'm not a fan. I would eat every other ice cream before I touch it.
There's so many better chocolates out there.
Or ice creams in general.
Yeah, ice creams. I keep saying chocolates.
Living in the past, Wilson.
Yeah, stuck in last week, boys.
Righto, Mark, what's next?
All right, next we have the Maxibon. The general consensus is that we've all given it a golden 10. So it's got 30 out of 30.
What a phenomenal ice cream.
Is this the greatest ice cream ever?
It's got to be. We've all given it a 10 out of 10, so by all logic, it is the perfect chocolate. Undisputed.
Ice cream.
You mean ice cream?
I'm stuck in chocolate! It is the best chocolate ice cream. Oh, boys, I'm on Struggle Street. I mean, it's just got so much going on. One end you've got a sandwich, a chocolate sandwich, and then on the other end you've got ice cream with chocolate covered.
Covered goodness.
I'm getting all hot and bothered just thinking about it.
You could smash a Maxibon right about now.
Yep, and not just the original. I'd include a couple of the other flavors in here as well.
I agree.
That I'm a huge fan of. Obviously your original is probably your go-to, but some of the other flavors are so good. There's just so much going on. I love it.
There's the cookies and cream one, which is pretty good, and I think there's a caramel flavored one.
There's a double handle one going around at the moment.
Double handle, and I think there's a double choc one, so it's chocolate ice cream with chocolate biscuit and chocolate covered. So, for us, this is the perfect ice cream that we know of that's readily available in petrol stations right around Australia. So, kudos to is it Peters, Nestle? I don't know who it is. Peters, Streets. There you go. So
Doing something right.
congratulations to Streets on having the perfect ice cream. All right, Wilson, what's next?
So next up, we have another very, very strong chocolate. It's the Bubble Bill. For this one, Mark's gone an 8 out of 10. I've gone a 9 out of 10, and Mitch has gone with yet another 10 out of 10 for a combined score of 27 out of 30. Oh, boys, what do you think about this one?
I love
It's
this.
just a classic. It's a classic.
I love it.
I don't know how to the Today Show put it in that would rather eat vomit.
Oh yeah, if you're eating vomit over a Bubble O Bill, you've got some serious issues that you need to work out.
Might want to talk to someone about that.
Not only do you get ice cream, but you get a thin layer of chocolate, and to top it off, you get a piece of bubble gum, chewing gum, whatever you want to call it, to top it all off. Like, it's more than an ice cream, and that's why I've given it a 10. And it's always a constant struggle for me when I go to the shops or whatever, and I'm buying something else to get my petrol over $5 in the shop. It's either a Maxibon or a Bubble O Bill. So that's why I've given it.
I can just imagine that meme where has to press one of the buttons and he's sweating. Maxibon or Bubble O Bill, and Mitch is just freaking out. I'm a huge fan of Bubble O Bill. Like Mitch is saying, you've got your ice cream, and then you've got chocolate, and then at the end, I mean, depending on the way you eat it, at the end you've got some bubble gum. It's just so good.
The question is,
Yeah.
what flavour is it?
Doesn't matter.
Strawberry.
It's Bubble O Bill
Strawberry
flavor.
chocolate.
And get me around some, what is it, New Jersey chocolate? No,
Yeah,
New Jersey ice cream.
Jersey ice cream.
That you can only get in Australia.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, so I gave it an 8. Like, my only criticism of the Bubble O Bill is that the piece of bubblegum doesn't last very long. That's
true.
my only criticism.
it does lose
And
its
that's why I gave
taste
it an 8.
quite quickly.
After almost 10 seconds, the flavor's gone, and then you've just got like a chewy whatever. But, that's fine. It's good while it lasts.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So 27 out of 30 is a very good score. All right, moving on to the Classic Magnum. I've gone a 7, Wilson a 9, and Mark an 8. Please explain, lads.
Oh, I mean, like your Paddle Pop is just your generic chocolate one. I think Magnum is, it is like your generic chocolate covered ice cream, but more than that, it is delicious. And I think it's not my go-to. I like my top 3 would be Maxibon, Bubble O Bill, and then Magnum. But every now and then you feel like an ice cream, but you just want to treat yourself a bit. So that's when it would be my go-to.
It's the Lamborghini to Paddle Pop's Toyota.
Yeah,
It's the one that everyone
that's a fair
wants, but not the
comparison.
one everyone can afford.
Yeah, that's probably my only big gripe with it is if a Maxibon costs like $4 each at a servo.
Mm.
Is that right, Mark?
Yep.
And then
yeah,
a Magnum,
roughly that.
how much would a Magnum be? Like $3.50, $4? The same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
I mean,
pretty close.
it's not as it would cost about the same as a Maxibon, and it's not quite as filling, but it is a bit fancy.
Yeah, it's the scaled up, better quality version of what a Paddle Pop should be. Just
Yep,
better
I agree.
better chocolate and better ice cream. So that's why I've given it a 7. I still find it a bit basic in terms of just vanilla ice cream covered in chocolate, but I still think it's better than anything Paddle Pop could offer. So that's why I've given it a 7.
Fair enough.
Righto, Mark, what's next?
Right. Next we got the Cornetto. So I've given this a 7. Wilson's given this an 8. Mitch, you've given this a 6. What are you lowballing for, Mitchell?
Look, I don't think they're all that crash hot, to be honest. I don't rate the ice cream, like the physical ice cream, and I think the classic Cornettos have nuts. Not really a fan of that either. The only redeeming factor about it is maybe the choc bottom at the bottom of the cone, but
Yeah.
I find it very basic. I mean, I'd eat it over a Paddle Pop, but I would much prefer Maxibon, Bubble O Bill over a Cornetto.
I disagree. I'm a big fan of. I mean, it hasn't got my highest ranking, but I'm a big fan of the wafer ice creams that you can get. I think one of the things I like is that there's a lot going on. Like you've got your wafer, you've got your chocolate, you've got ice cream and some nuts. I think it's a good mix, and Yeah, I'm a fan. I back it.
I think it's one of the better ones, and I'm usually one to enjoy an ice cream that you can actually finish. You know, you can eat the entire thing.
Yep.
And like Mitch said, the chocolatey bottom is one of the best parts of it.
Yeah, I would also say that of all the ice creams you can get in like a 4-pack, I find that this and its very similar cousin are almost always on sale.
Yeah, because
Oh,
they
yeah.
suck.
Oh no, they're
Ooh.
almost always on sale.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
They're on sale because they're not selling, so they reduce the price so that suckers like you will buy them.
That's an interesting point, but I don't care.
You'll still eat them?
Yep.
All right. What's our next ice cream, Wilson?
So the next ice cream we have is the Splice. Mark has given it a 6. I've also given it a 6, and Mitch has given it a 7.
I like these.
Doesn't seem like we're too high on this one.
I like them. It's like a little step up from the paddle top. You know, you get your vanilla ice cream, but with like a lemony lime coat that's nice and tasty in your mouth on a hot summer's day. So I've given it a 7.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's tasty, but I think it's blurring the lines between ice block and chocolate. And
Ice block and chocolate, love it.
I keep ice cream and ice block. What is wrong with me today? It's sort of a monstrous mix of ice block and ice cream, and I mean, it tastes good, but I don't know, it just feels kind of wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I personally like it. It's kind of like a spider, but frozen when you think about it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
But
That's
like, let me ask you guys this: have either of you guys ever actually gone out of your way to buy one of these, or have you always been like conned into it by your parents? You know, you go to the server and they're like, okay, you can pick an ice cream, and then they pick that one for you.
Not as an adult, I've not bought one because I have more money
Yeah.
to spend on maxi bonds. But as a child, it was of the lower value ice creams like your paddle pops and your spices. It was of that price range.
It was more of a go-to for you.
Oh yeah, I'd choose it over a rainbow or a chocolate paddle pop, definitely.
Yeah, righto.
It wouldn't. I don't really have very strong memories of going out of my way to get this. I think it like if I wanted an ice cream and I only had a little bit of cash, I think this would have been usually the one that was more affordable.
Mm.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not the greatest, but it's
Like
not
my
bad.
my only memories of this are like my grandparents had them at their house, like constantly.
Oh yeah.
It was never bought at a server or anything like that. It was just you go down in Pop's place and you had to splice in the summer.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yep.
So it's bonded with memories for you.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, that gives it a score of 19 out of 30. Moving on, our next ice cream is the drumstick, and these look very similar to another ice cream.
Yeah, we've actually scored these ones the exact same.
Is there a
Cornetto and
difference?
drumsticks.
Is
I
there
mean, they're more or less the same, I think.
one's Streets, one's Peters, or something like that?
You know what? Now that you mention it, I can't actually differentiate between the ice cream taste of them. I like in my mind they are literally one and the same. I think, but based on branding, I think I would usually go drumsticks over cornettos.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. They basically taste the same.
So if they're
They're basically built the same by the looks of it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, both of them. You've got your ice cream, you've got chocolate, you've got nuts, and then the chocolate in the bottom. Like,
would you choose either of them depending on which is cheaper in a 4-pack?
Yes.
yeah, if I was at the
100%.
if I was at the shops and they both they're both on sale, I'd probably go drumsticks. But whichever one was on sale would be the one I would grab.
And you don't think it wouldn't make a difference?
No.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, so same score as the Cornetto, 21 out of 30.
Yep.
Yeah, all right, Mark, what's next?
All right, next we've got the Golden Gay Time.
Mm,
Mitch and Wilson have both given this an 8. I've given this my second Golden 10. Boys, why no love for the Golden Gay Time?
I've still got love for it. We both gave it an 8 out of 10. I think that's still a pretty good score.
that's respectable.
It's the best ice cream on a stick, boys. Come on.
I have to disagree. I would rather have a Buffalo Bill than a Golden Gay Time.
Interesting.
Like they're good, and I think you would say that they're more or less the classic like Australian ice cream. Like I know, I think from memory, like my dad has said that these are his favorites, and he had them growing up. So they're they're a bit of an Aussie classic, but yeah, I think 8 out of 10's fair. I wouldn't give it a perfect score.
I find
But-
that it's just a little bit messy. You know, you eat it,
Oh yeah,
the crunchy, whatever they are, those golden,
Honeycomb biscuits.
well, yeah, those things fall off, they go everywhere. You go, oh, this is a bit disappointing. Whereas the Buffalo Bill, you're like, I'm enjoying every bite of this, and it's not getting messy at all. So that's my reasoning.
Fair enough, boys. I've just always been in love with it. Love a bit of toffee and vanilla. Love a bit of chocolate. Love a bit of honeycomb.
there is a lot going on, which is I've said that a few times now. It is something I do like about chocolates when there's about ice creams. Oh, boys, I'm rattled. I keep saying chocolates. I do like it when your ice cream has a lot going on. You know, like Paddle Pop, just normal chocolate, Golden Gate Time. It's got a lot going on, which I am a fan of.
I think you just got to be in the right, you got to be in the right mood to have one. I'm not feeling something today, I'll have a Golden Gate Time. Certainly a bit of variety in terms of, there's no other ice cream like it on the market, so that's where
That's true.
it sets apart from your Magnums and your Maxi Bonds and your Paddle Pops. It's a little bit more different, which is good.
What about the Golden Gate Time Sanger, boys? What do you think?
I've never tried it.
I haven't tried it either.
I assume it's just a taste the same as a Golden Gate Time, just in like Maxi
Maxi
Bond
Bond
sort of
form.
form.
Yep, that's the one.
That does sound intriguing.
I'll put it on the menu this week.
I might have to give it a go.
I don't know who I was up
Would
to.
recommend, boys.
Wilson, what's the next ice cream?
So we had the classic Magnum up before, but next we have the mint chocolate Magnum. Mark's given this a 6 out of 10. I've given it only a 5 out of 10. Mitch has gone with 8 out of 10, giving it a total score of 19 out of 30. What do you reckon on this one, boys?
What's your hate for peppermint? You said it last week in terms of one of the
The old
chocolate.
Aero.
Yeah, the Aero bar. Are you just not a fan of peppermint?
No, not really. I think of all the chocolates we've said so far, other than the Weist mango, this is my least favorite of the chocolates. I'm not a I just can't get around mint flavored things. But I didn't want to drag down the score, so it's fine. I'm just a bit biased by not liking mint things, so I've gone 5.
Mark?
I think this is like a middle of the range kind of ice cream. Like, I much prefer the classic Magnum to it, but I'm not going to say no to you, Mitch, if you pull out a 4-pack and offer me one.
I'll remember that. I like.
Oh, if it's free, I'd eat it.
I'll remember that as well. Here, Wilson, have this Weist mango bar. It's free.
Oh no! Thanks.
If I offered you a Weist mango bar and a Magnum peppermint, which one are you taking?
So okay, I've scored Weiss lower, but oh man, this is a coin flip. Can I not decide?
So you could. All right. So you starve then, and Mark and I live on because we've eaten our ice creams, and you starve. You starve. So.
Okay.
All right. Well, yeah, I like the peppermint just because it's a little bit more exciting than the classic Magnum, and that's why I've given it one more. But you guys don't seem to feel that way, and that's fine. Each to their own. All right,
Classic Magnum's way better.
Mark, what's our last ice cream?
All right, our last ice cream is probably my servo choice. It's the Milo Scooper Shake.
Ooh, all right. 777s across the board.
I think that's fair.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's childhood favourite.
It's definitely an above average ice cream.
Mm.
That's for sure.
It's better than a paddle pop.
It is better than a paddle pop. Yep, for sure. And I think we've all ranked it the same, so I think we're all in agreement that it's not the best, but it's definitely above average and better than the lower tier ice creams out there.
Righto. All right. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Our scores and totals of the classic Australian ice creams readily available in petrol stations across Australia. Wilson, what have you got next for us?
So next, with doing my weekly ad segment that we missed last week due to just having too many chocolates to rank. But I've gone through, done my deep dive into YouTube and found a quite interesting ice cream ads. Why don't we have a watch?
Just a volume warning, friends.
There's somebody drowning out there, you gotta save them! Mate, go! That's Matt. Matt doesn't realise it yet, but he's about to bite off more than he can chew. Run! Run!
What?
Matt, this one's for you.
2-in-1, Maxi Bond, for those who like to bite off more than they can chew.
What is going on?
So that was a bit of an interesting ad. I thought I was tempted to include the classic drumsticks one where all the people walk around the pool. They're all in like perfect harmony.
Oh yeah.
They're all like they rub sunscreen into each other's backs and they all like jump into the pool at the same time. Then they all whip out their drumstick and one random person bites the bottom first and then they all do it. I think that's the classic sort of ice cream ads. But this one, oh geez. I mean, their slogan is for those who bite off more than they can chew, Maxi Bon. And the bloke's tricked into going to rescue someone who's drowning. But
I'll admit I've not seen it before. It's a classic 90s ad by the look of it. So
1998.
there you go. So I hope it sold lots of ice creams. All right.
Well, it is the best.
It must have
ice
done
cream,
well.
so-
Yeah, it must have done well if we all think it's the best ice cream.
The ad has gone through the generations and it's found its way in 2019 to still sell.
Oh, how good.
All right. That wraps up the scores. So I'll now bring up our tiers. So this is what we've got, ladies and gentlemen. A 30 out of 30 for the Maxi Bond puts it at the top of the class, followed by Buffalo Bill and Golden Gay Time. Magnum Classic sitting there at distinction, followed by Milo, Cups, Drumsticks, Cornetto sitting at a credit. And then you've got your pass class, which is Paddle Pops, Magnum Peppermint, your Splice, and then unfortunately a Weiss Mango Bar fails. Are we happy with our rankings, lads?
I'm happy with it. I reckon people may blow up over the Weiss getting a fail, but other than that, I'm pretty happy with it.
Beautiful.
If they blow up about it, they're wrong.
Yep, exactly.
That's the way the podcast works. All right. Any final words, lads?
I'm keen to go out and try this Golden Gay Time Maxi Bond thing.
Sanger Bar.
Yeah. Sanger Bar. Yeah, go get yourself a Maxi Bond, fans.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. That's it from us. So, toodles.
Doodles.
Doodles.